Today we had Mike Mildon on the episode. It was a blast. You're going to love it. Subscribe, like, comment, for fuck's sakes.
Okay, all right. Podcast number 4. We got Mike from For Heaven's Sake. And first off, let's just get your general thoughts on the next lockdown we just had to go through.
I love the lockdown. Lockdown is one of my... I think it's working, and I think people are doing exactly what they're told, and I think we have the greatest government in the world.
Do you like Doug Ford?
I love Doug Ford. I love it. Oh, I love it.
For those of you who don't know, that arm right there is actually Doug Ford. He's making sure everyone loves Mr. Doug.
The pirates. Doug sent his pirates.
For heaven's sake. All right, that was either the worst segment we've ever done or the best.
Gentlemen,
You can just start the podcast right here.
It's Chillin with Sean and the hottest guy in the world, Luke Mitchell.
Oh my god.
Well, we just wanted to make sure that everyone's politically correct, and if they have to get a knife to their neck,
Our next segment is
that's what's going to happen.
Mike's playing salesman. Mike, we would like you to sell the second Pfizer shot. My head's in the clouds. I don't know if I should get it. I got the QAnons telling me not to get it because it'll make me squirm on the ground and bleed. But then I got the liberals telling me definitely get it if you want to save the world. So please.
And your
sell.
parents, you got your parents telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to give context, do you have the first shot?
In this situation, no.
Okay, so I'm selling you the second shot before you've had the first one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Make it good.
How many times do you want to skip the line at Wonderland?
Unlimited.
I'm not asking how many times. I'm asking a real question. How many times do you want to skip the line at Wonderland?
I don't know.
At least.
You're in a long line. It's a hot day. It's a 3-hour line. Do you want to skip the line or not?
Yeah.
Definitely.
You want to skip the line? Okay, good.
I want the fast pass.
You got the fast pass. So what if I told you don't need to buy the ticket when you buy my little fast pass in my arm?
Holy shit.
Yeah. So if you want to get on your little behemoth roller coaster, stick something in your vein, and then you're going, having the time of your life.
Then you're getting dropped 50 feet in the air.
Excuse me, salesman.
Holding on for your life.
Do you work for the CIA?
I see. Yeah, so my question is in the back. Sorry.
Do you work for the CIA?
I work for every place.
Okay, you seem trustworthy. I actually think I'm gonna buy this now.
Trust me.
I wish we could zoom into his eyes. Trust.
What a weird way to start the podcast.
Okay. But Luke. Now, what if you were the salesman for Pfizer?
Yeah,
What are you
gonna
doing?
go really well.
Fine.
So you got to convince Mike how to.
How tall are you?
6'8".
6'8"?
Yeah.
Well,
That chair's not doing you any favors.
you want to make it in this world? You want to be a big tough guy?
Of course. I want to be a boxer.
You want to be a boxer?
Yeah, I want to be a big boxer.
Okay. Well, I have the juice for you. It's called the Pfizer second shot. You put it in your arm, you'll grow big and strong, bigger than 6'8", 7'5", guaranteed.
Okay.
And then 2 years in,
Tyson fight.
your veins will start bulging, and you go, "Why didn't I take that?"
I get a Tyson.
Now I feel funny. Maybe the QAnons were right.
Now I get Captain America
And then,
big.
yeah. Oh, and then we turn into superhumans. How does that sound? You want the second shot?
This is a win-win, honestly, for this guy. I'm going boxing.
You're going. You're getting the second shot, ladies and gentlemen. Get him the second shot. Fuck.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Ladies
I'm a
and gentlemen.
huge fan of the Chillin with Sean and Luke podcast. Don't say it the other way around because that's illegal.
So
That's definitely illegal.
my question is,
You'll have to get the vaccine if you say it.
we're making vaccine jokes, we're making quarantine jokes because
It's the only thing I remember.
we're in the middle of both.
Yeah, 5 years from now, when this is all behind us, or we're still in the thick of it,
It's a nice time capsule.
we can look.
you know?
Yeah, it's a time capsule.
So you guys can
We'll
go
always
back
remember.
a bit. Yeah. How
Remember
frustrated
those goofy years when we were locked in our homes? Wasn't that goofy?
That's the one thing. It's like I just really want to know what the next Like I want to just jump 5 years ahead and just
Full of the vaccines.
See the end of this.
The end of the world.
I think it's gonna look like, you look outside right now. You see those houses? See them and the buildings and the.
Just want to get comfy.
Those are gonna be covered in vines because humans won't be around anymore. It's gonna be a desolate wasteland out there in 5 to 10. Every man for himself.
Yeah. No. Hey.
Luke, you are terrifying, Mike.
So far, Luke's covered the vaccine of the apocalypse. We're hot. We're hot.
Luke, you need to be writing like a feature film right now.
Yeah,
I feel like if you wrote a feature film right now,
See over there, kid. They're gonna be fucking eating each other over there.
I feel safe inside now.
Yeah.
Not in 5 years.
Yeah, picture yourself, your condo, up on the 12th floor, lit up by Christmas lights. Everyone around you is fucking dead or eating each other. The year's 2022.
But you still got your Wii Nintendo. You're content. I get it.
Dude, imagine that. All you got is Nintendo Wii.
Just really good at Wii tennis.
Yeah.
yeah, you're playing in the online Wii Tennis Championships.
Yeah.
And like a community comes by and they're like, hey, like, do you need help? And you look at you have the thing on, and you're like, I'll be good. I'll be just fine. Leave me here.
Don't worry, I got my Wii.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to Detroit, the safe zone. The safe zone, we're going to make a run for it. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. And it's like, what's the Wii music? How do you play? It's like, beep, beep, go back. I don't know how it goes, but it's it's like very specific Wii music. And it just like drives your whole phone. You look outside, like, beep, 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 beep.
Sorry. Good.
I was just saying, I got to figure out what the Wii music is. It's good.
Okay, here's the question. Do you like your cell phone?
Could I live without it? I don't know. No, I mean, I don't know if I like it. I can't imagine a world without it. Is a good way to put it. Yeah, like I wish I could be that guy that's like just like I'm going off the grid, but God, how often do you check your pocket and be like, I got it, it's here, it's here, like twice every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like a sick society where you almost have to train yourself to avoid using it. Like I'll have mornings where I'm like, all right, not till 11.
I put on like focus apps that like cancel you after an hour on Instagram. It's like, all right, time, you can't use this anymore. And then somehow I find a way around it. I'm like, hey, you can never stop me.
Yeah, I'd put one of those limits on Instagram, but then it says like time limit is up, but you can just click. I just want to keep using it. So every day I would just keep using it. And I just say, at least it's a good reminder of what a piece of shit I am.
Exactly. I have the same moment.
Like, fuck it. Eventually I was like, you know what? Like I'm going to keep doing this. So
Yeah.
I just took it off. But yeah, definitely the idea of being hopelessly addicted to my iPhone is becoming more of a realization, I think.
Hell yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
too hard. Like, you can use it for productive means, I think.
The
for
notepad,
sure.
that's where all my good
But-
ideas come from, you know, like when you are high or you're drunk and you're just like laughing, having a bit, you write something down. You might write song lyrics down, Sean, and you're like, return to it. It's great. That's a perfect use for it.
Yeah.
Now, if you got rid of the phone, had a notebook, that would be cool too. I don't know.
The voice memo, I do love the voice memo app. That helps me a lot.
That's good because you can sing.
Yeah, you can just write down little riffs, some vocals, anything like that. Plus, I feel like sometimes you have an idea, and if I don't write it down right away, or even within 5 seconds, it's gone forever.
Yeah,
That's the cell phone.
I think those are the positive things about like the notepad app, the memo voice thing.
The
But-
steps.
Yeah,
How many
steps are cool.
Sometimes if I'm really drunk and I don't know how I got home, like,
You're like,
did I
holy fuck.
Uber or did I did I bike home? What was my method of transportation?
But
And I'm like, oh, well, I had 10,000 steps at 2 a.m. I guess I walked.
yeah, I think like the shitty thing is like the social media sites. I just wish we didn't need them. I wish there was a way to get your stuff out and you didn't have to log on to Instagram. Like,
It's true.
Okay, I was thinking
it's so
about that.
addictive.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, man, it's like every artist, every musician, everyone's always like, oh, I'd love to give up Instagram, but I I have to do it. But I would love to see the time spent of me actually posting stuff and say interacting with fans or whatever, and then the time that I'm just scrolling.
Yeah.
Like, and then getting on, like, because I follow like a lot of football stuff. Like, there was this like really obese kicker who was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, or like workout stuff or music, like whatever. But the actual amount of time that I spend Instagram doing something productive to further my career is like not a lot.
Yeah.
And I still keep telling myself that.
That's,
oh no,
I think that's
need
all
to
of us
use
in a
it
nutshell. Because then you're
because
also
I
like,
need to have this.
even
but
if you
then-
have it, you're also like, well, I don't post that much, or like you have some sort of status, whether it's like you're super like productive on it and you're constantly posting stories and gaining followers, but like I'm the type of guy that's like, I haven't posted in a year, like that's some sort of status thing. But my excuse why I won't get rid of it is that exact reason, where it's like I need it to promote my stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So hey, we're in a freaking rabbit hole that we just can't get out.
Yeah.
The other thing is like I don't really trust these fucking musicians or people that are just posting like 24/7. Like it seems so fucking fake. Like I'm tired of looking at a photo of all these people. Like go write a record.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
do something. Like it's like previously before everything locked down. Like the music industry lived in the real world. You would go to a place with people, perform and do things. But now because everything's online, you can't do that. And it's like everything is so digitalized. Like if I want to see someone perform, I mean, I'm looking at my phone. Granted, I do love YouTube having all the live videos on there. But yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like the status of having like so many followers or all this stuff or constantly posting. Like you're not living really in the real world.
You're
And
preaching
then
the choir.
At what
Preaching the
point
choir.
is it just boring being an artist, just posting another photo of yourself on the couch, like
Yeah.
as opposed to like going on a tour or like interacting with fans?
Well, you just crave that, right? It's like if you can't get the validation on a live tour where people are screaming your name, then every like that comes in, you're like, fuck yeah, that's 400 likes.
Fuck yeah. Dude, I don't even get over fucking 25 likes, so
Well, you should go.
you guys are living the high life.
That just means likes mean even more to you. So every like, you're like, oh, fuck, oh, that's good.
I
God,
went
I
from
got
like
30
getting like
likes.
100 likes to like fucking 14 to 35. I must have said something about someone. People just hate it. I must have really rubbed someone wrong.
And then just behind the scenes, like, let's get rid of them.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, so
So-
there's some deep conspiracy over Luke's loss of likes.
Yeah. Mike, you have a big show out.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is the.
Is that it?
I've never met you two. I've never met you two.
Never.
I'm just here really to.
He found us on the street with a bunch of podcasting equipment and said, hey, you two.
These two. I see potential.
Yeah. So you have,
Podcasters are like you know when DJing was a big thing where everyone's like, dude, I'm a DJ, like come see my DJ
Yeah,
set.
yeah, that's
now with
true.
podcasts, it's like everyone's like, yo, I'm a podcaster. Like come on my podcast.
Yo, come on my DJ podcast.
That's the ultimate.
yeah.
Dude, we just have a podcast where we sit around and listen to my DJ set.
We have other DJs on too.
Yeah.
Luke and I almost tried to be DJs
Oh my God, we did.
for a good like 20 days.
We've tried it all.
Literally. Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. We did. I think we watched the Avicii documentary and we were like, dude, this would be sick. We got like all the things.
Oh man, I spent so much money on gear.
Luke's girlfriend, Luke gave.
I'm like, listen, we have potential. Like, I got the work ethic. Sean's got the musical know-how.
I just pictured Luke in front of a crowd. He's like, let's get wild.
Thank Christ I didn't become a DJ. It's like the worst time ever to be a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, imagine we like got really stupidly good.
It's like DJing and fucking stand-up comedy or any comedy right now. You may as well just shoot yourself in the head if you're Canadian because it ain't coming back for a long fucking time.
I feel like one translates to one. Like, you could adjust your comedy to, like, somehow. Like, you could start a podcast.
Just do live sets on Omegle.
Yeah, exactly.
Omega.
That's a good one. Roast people on Omegle. But DJing, it's such like a live, like you're with everybody and it's just like a crazy time. So
So, Mike, tell us about your new show.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean,
For heaven's sake, streaming live now on what?
Paramount Plus in the United States and CBC Gem in Canada. Yeah, you have a podcast with my comedy partner Jackson Rowe, who is also in the show.
Yeah.
And follows us, going back to where my cottage is, Minden, Ontario. So in 1934, my great uncle disappeared. Okay, this is a true story. This is a real documentary. And basically, it's Jackson and I trying to solve this case 87 years later using my family and like the town.
Right.
And hijinks ensue. So.
And what?
Hijinks?
Hijinks.
Hijinks ensue.
What's that?
It's like, we get goofy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's definitely like an amazing show. I mean, you guys have gotten good reviews so far, right? Or great reviews.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I learned this thing about Hollywood where, like, you really have to know people to get
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike learned a thing or two about Hollywood.
and I'm here to bestow the Hollywood knowledge. Like, not everybody has time to review your show, so it's
Right.
like the networks have to have connections within the place, and then also like the show needs to pick up steam to like get a lot of reviews. So we got like 7 or 8, and they were all very positive. So like our Rotten Tomatoes is 100, but it's like we only have 7 reviews on there, and like to be like certified fresh, you need 20 reviews, and we're like climbing that ladder. You
Oh
know?
my God.
So it's a weird thing. So, but either way, the people that watch it, like, it's not just critics and stuff. Like, most people respond well to it. So that's cool. That's just why
like
you make art. Sometimes.
what I was saying when I was watching, and we watched the first episode together. I said like it just looks fucking good, like it looks really cinematic. Like each episode, I don't know if I'm ruining anything here, but each episode kind of follows its own unique storyline to the murder.
Yeah.
And I feel like every episode there's a new kind of personality that you follow around, and you'd almost be like, this kind of feels like a Nathan For You thing where the people feel so perfect for the situation that you just like can't help but laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like getting these real reactions. It's great. Like when that guy falls off the ladder.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's like what the best thing about making a documentary like unscripted is like for Nathan For You, these people are real, and the same thing for this. When you watch it, you're like, oh, this guy's like a real mechanic, or this is a real guy in this small town, and it makes it so much more, I don't know, authentic when these people mess up or these people do stuff, and it's just like real life. And oh man, it's for me, that's what I loved about the style of comedy is you're just capturing gold without you having to be funny. Like hopefully Jackson and I are still funny in it, but it's like we're not the stars. Like this small town is the stars, the mystery is like the stars. So yeah. To your point, there's a lot of good people in it. Like
Even the people are continuing. Like there's a Facebook group of like 2,000 people, right? Like still trying to figure out what happened to this guy who died in 1939.
Basically, we started and this goes back to our social media thing, where it's like we started a Facebook group too, like while we were there filming and being like trying to get the town buzzing and being like, hey guys, we're doing mystery nights, like you should come. And like there was like 80 members, like maybe 100, like that. But we started with like 5 to 25, and no one was fully invested. And then all of a sudden the show comes out. We didn't advertise this group. They just all migrated here. And
On a Facebook group?
Yeah, went from 82 to 2,000, and they're all like posting their theories, and they're like, people are getting mad that we didn't do stuff. And it's just like, I mean, I had to separate myself. I had to like stop checking the group but now all my family's like, did you see this post where they call your mom hot or my aunt hot? And I'm like, and it's just like, I can't do anything. Like the show's out in the world and people are talking. Like,
Oh my God.
but
That's pretty cool though, having a Facebook forum and people actually like openly discussing it.
Oh, it was great. It's very cool, but it's like, it's one of those things where we've created a monster and we just have to step back. It's like,
Well, you've been getting like direct messages from people like who are like self-policing it. Or like
Yeah,
they have like negative things to say about certain characters in the show.
yeah, there's just a whole bunch of just.
So does this mean you could potentially
There's
have like
an
a season 2?
There's like the
Are
whole.
we thinking season 2 on this podcast?
Are we gonna find this dead guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe everyone that has these ideas be like, listen, we're shooting round 2. We need to get to the bottom of this.
We've completely opened it up and like, hey, here's the police reports, here's like everything, and it's just like, take the baton, like do it. It's just like we've exhausted all our efforts. Like the town, we just we just got by without people being like super upset with us. And
Right.
so it's kind of like we wouldn't go back unless someone was like, I found the body.
Yeah.
And it's like that happened in the show, and then it ended up not being the right. Like the guy just took us on a goose chase.
So why do you think everyone was upset with you?
But you have to watch the
town?
documentary. But it's like Jackson and I go in so hot as these like these comedians that are like, we could solve this crime, and we have no idea how to be detectives. So we just
Right.
like blast things out into the town, and we're like theories, and like someone said this, someone said you killed this person, like, and then it got back to some families, and they were like, you can't just say this shit unless you have things to like back it up. So it's
Yeah,
Turns out I did.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
even just like some of the phone calls you get, and Mike like during it was telling me, he's like, man, I had to like speak to this one family. They did
Yeah.
not like what I had to say. It's like the guilt of actually putting people like in the line of fire, putting them like on live TV type thing, especially for like an old murder.
Exactly.
From
Like,
You're
before
associating
someone-
their family to like some murder that they may not have been involved with. It's just the guilt is like,
yeah, that's pretty much it. Both Luke and I even say in the documentary, I'm like, I'm not good with confrontation. And Luke says the same thing, where we're both not good at like when emotions are at us. Like, and so it's just like, I was like, at some points I was like, oh my gosh, I do not know how to handle this situation right now. So things got real is the best way to put it. Sean.
Things got real.
It went from like jokey and we're all having fun, and then it's like, okay, we're definitely doing something not great. So, that's all I'll say on that.
Dude, was
subject.
there like a point of no return that you kind of got to, or you just realized like, okay, we might be annoying some people.
Jackson
we
said
got a show to film,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it could kind of work to the advantage of the show doing well.
Well, kind of. It was like we were very oblivious to it all, and then like once it came back, like once it fired back at us, we were like Jackson said a good line. He's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's just like you're making a true crime documentary where you're accusing somebody of doing this thing in one of your theories, and it's like, unless you did it in a tasteful way, which we didn't until we kind of like flipped the script like halfway through the documentary. But like we basically like it's just like you're making a genre that like very much puts people in the hot seat and takes things that are like a level 5, and then you juice it up with music and graphics and everything. It makes it feel like a 10. So everything feels a little more intense. And we played into that because we were like, it's a true crime comedy, but we're leaning into the true crime aspect. So everyone feels like the intensity, even though if you really think about it, it's all just like stories and hearsay, but we make it feel real because that's how Jackson and I felt at the time. We were like, this is what happened. And like, we're so excited. So it was, and that was cool because it's a documentary. So we figured that out as we went. It was like, it was a weird process where we were doing it. We felt so good. And then it was like, I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like everyone hates me in this town. It's like, I feel like we have to do something. And then you'll see how it all works out.
Did you have to like get your kind of like yourself in a mind frame and kind of put yourself in this like headspace of, obviously you said you guys aren't really detectives, but did you kind of have to do something to your mind to make it to your psyche to like to
See a
play that
therapist?
character?
Yeah, exactly.
But to play that character, because you do have to go to people and interview them, right? You can't be. You have to like make sure you're in the right headspace. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, was there something that you used to like psych yourself up for it?
It's a great question, Sean. So we basically like we went up in blocks. So we would go up like for a week, film, and then go back for a week and be like, okay, what did we get? Go up for 2 weeks, come back and be like, okay, where's the story now? Like, so each time, so the first time we went up, like it was very nerve wracking because it's about my actual family. So it was like we had to interview my family and kind of like. We never asked too difficult questions, but it was still nerve-wracking. We had to like send a crew of 12 people, move their furniture around, and I was scared of pushing anybody's buttons or anything. And I remember one of our EPs was like, you guys need to come in hot. Like, you guys need to, like, you're making 8 episodes. You gave us this like huge pep talk. And then so when we went back, it was like, we got great interviews and great footage that first week. But the next time we went up, it was like, we're going on the radio station. We're blasting this out. We really, in order to move the story forward, is like the only way you could solve a cold case is like getting the word out. Mm-hmm. So we had to make sure like the papers had the story, like the local radio had the story. Like they all knew we were doing, like we had mystery nights. So we just like blasted all these theories out, and we're like, this is everything we know. And then people would like give us little tidbits, being like, oh, well, my father actually built the road as well. And it was like, all right, let's talk to this guy. And then you slowly figure out who you were like, what lanes to go down. But yeah, it was like even the mustache. Like I had a mustache while filming, and I was just like, having that mustache, I looked weird, but I was like, this is like some sort of guard. Like this is a different person than me, even though it's with my real family. And it's like, so I had to like forget all that stuff sometimes, and just like, when something's working, you have to like push the scene or something. You know what you need for the edit sometimes, and you're like, all right, well, we got to get this like this TV show, and we have to fill these episodes. But that's why I like where this story goes, because it's a lot of exposing exactly what you're talking about, where it's like all these people want this like shock value television, and then we slowly realize like these are the stakes to get that footage. And we kind of just like, because it was happening in real time, we all included that, and we didn't shy away from like, oh, Jackson and I messed up. Like we definitely didn't do the right thing in certain situations. So definitely.
It kind of reminds me of when we were kids and we would go out and interview people when we were like 16 years old, and you just like, you're trying to get the most ridiculous answers, but like midway through you just feel so guilty, and you're just fully immersed in that because you're with that person probably like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just go out for 5 minutes and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? And expect something crazy. It's like you have to keep laying in for 4 straight hours, right?
Yeah, you were great at that. You were like, I don't know, you were so good at just like, you're fast, like fast talker when people were responding to you, and I was just so nervous all the time when we were doing those, and it's just like we would film for like 5 hours, and we maybe had like 2 minutes of good footage because it was like a lot of the times we didn't do like what I guess at that time Kasim G was our like California On. Did you ever watch that?
I don't think so.
It was where he was really good at like street interviews, and we just like we didn't know what we were doing. We like saw these people that we wanted to be, like Kyle Mooney doing his awkward interviews, and we were like, this is our thing now.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't know. It was we have so many stories from that.
Yeah.
What was one of the stories?
Oh my god, I don't even know if we should get it. We got kicked out of Fan Expo, and it was just this guy just freaked out, and he went and told security, and he was just like, Luke made a joke about like his spandex being too tight.
Yeah, it was basically like he had really tight spandex on, and Fan Expo there's like a lot of like hot chicks. I'm like, are you scared of getting a boner in those pants?
Which is a good question.
And he went and fucking told Fan Expo police.
Yeah, it was like, it was so awkward because they like what
you were expecting a reaction and you got the complete opposite.
Yeah. Oh, we got a reaction.
You were thinking he was gonna be like laughing or think it's funny, but then he was like really offended.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know
you got to know your audience.
I'm telling on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then basically like, then the security came, and they weren't going to kick us out, but then one of our friends had a loud mouth, and like, then he's like, you know what, you're out. And they made it like, I guess Fan Expo security doesn't do a lot of like,
aggression.
Well, just like they aren't doing much else things, so we had an army surrounding us, like clearing people out of the way
to get us out.
And there's like 4
that was the end of our that was like the end of our fucking live interview career.
Yeah, that was the one where
we were so scared.
Yeah, it was all jokes, and then it was like, okay, well, this is a good reminder.
Dude, if anything, that should have boosted your want to keep doing it. Dude, who was looking at you like Charmander and Pikachu?
Well, the most awkward
Link was giving me some fucking dead eyes.
The most awkward thing is we got in there because one of our friends was, one of my dad's friends was the president, and so he gave us like VIP passes to like everything, and then I was like, we had this army kicking us out. So the entire time my head was down, being like,
the worst part was he got fired after that.
Yeah. I was like, if he sees me right now, I'm going to crumble. I'm gonna feel so garbage. Like,
yeah.
You guys were young though, too, right?
We just were.
I think we were like 18.
No way.
14.
We might have been like
15?
16 or 17.
Oh, really?
It may be. You might be right. I know it was one of those times where it was like, we're not meant to do on the street interviews, or at least I'm not. I definitely had a realization.
The all gas no brakes guy.
He's a good example of
a legend.
He's good at it because he doesn't make the situation provocative. Like he would never say, "Are you gonna get a fucking boner in those pants?" He just like gives the mic to a guy and he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Yeah,
It's
that's
and
the
then
best.
you just-
Like he
yeah.
lets the character like that's what I mean about like the small town. It's like a lot of people are just funny because they're themselves, and it's just like that's him. Everywhere he goes, he puts himself in dangerous situations and like very hilarious situations, and just like asks like follow up questions and just gives them more time to like not
Be
embarrass-
the crazy person.
Yeah, be the crazy person.
And he goes to like the flat Earth convention.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't shy away from the crazy people. So
Like Ryan Long is the better example of someone who's like in your face, like, oh,
Kind of
this is
asking
this is how you
questions.
feel about the LGBTQ movement. Like he gets in their faces about crazy shit.
yeah,
So he's the one trying to be the goofball, whereas All Gas is trying to be like the on the street interviewer in a proper way, but like not.
yeah.
And the editing makes it so
good,
good.
yeah.
Because it just makes anybody saying something sound 10 times stupider.
I don't know if this is true, but I know he's like not posting a lot because he's working on something. But him and the Absolutely guys had a deal together, like the development deal, and then now they split. So I don't know what happened there.
What
but
I think
What's
he
absolutely?
it's Tim and Eric's production company.
I think what happened was he posted saying when he was young, he accidentally like signed a deal giving all the rights to All Gas No Brakes to this company. So I guess maybe I don't know the second part of Absolutely, but maybe Absolutely accidentally signed like a deal with All Gas No Brakes. So he technically wasn't a part of it, and I guess it fell through.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, at the end of the day, what does he need Absolutely for? I get.
He's built his fan base. Like he's
Oh
millions
man,
of
he's
people
so
following.
his Patreon was killing it. Everything was killing it. Why would you need Absolutely? Like, maybe for the editors, like
Yeah, it's like, well, it's just like, I think you guys are right. Where it's like if he was to go to a place like Adult Swim, they would be like, yeah, we love your like absurd interviews. We would love this. Having Absolutely just helps that argument. Like they're like, well, you've never made a TV show before. You guys have made many smash hits. You believe in him. We work with you all the time. Let's do this. Like,
right.
so-
He was wanting like a legit TV show.
And like, there's also this talk about like how to make that format look like last in 22 minutes, which he's done. Like he did a Bigfoot episode, and it's so funny. If you haven't seen it, I think.
I
it's,
did,
my God, I
yeah,
haven't
it's
seen that.
and it's like 20 minutes, and it's just like he holds it perfectly. So maybe that was like a tester, and but anyways, it was that's what production that like absolutely would help him and develop his voice into 22 minutes and like help sell like also just guidance and mentorship and like building his brand and stuff. But he's big enough.
I almost feel like now you get that audience, you can find someone to mentor you, and you could probably fund your own production and then sell us like a subscription fee to a monthly. Oh, I'm going to put a 28 minute video out per month.
Dude,
I think people are just more tied to having the name behind them now. I think it's becoming more and more evident that if you build your own fan base, which is the fucking hardest part, you can be self-sustaining and like make your own.
That's it.
Shows,
He's
right?
making like, I think if you go to his Patreon, it's a crazy amount of money a month.
Look at Tim
Like,
Dillon. The guy's making like $140K a month.
a month, exactly.
Canadian.
Like, the overhead costs of him is like his producer, like what's his producer name? Matt, Luke?
Ben.
Ben.
You just have to be willing to say what Tim Dillon's saying, because
Yeah,
that's how you
exactly.
build a fan base like that.
That's a Patreon. But same with All Gas No Breaks, and like most YouTube comedians we know or like that have made it are now self-sustaining off of their
Patreon
and it's
or-
just like, I guess it's just that like childhood dream where it's like, oh, it'll be so cool to make a TV show, and it's just like, we made a TV show and it's awesome. It's just also you have to go through like legal, you have to go through all this stuff, like a lot of like network notes, and like it's all good, like good people involved.
You learned a lot.
Learned a lot, exactly. So it's just, but like if you could skip all those phases, like Tim Dillon, he's
Already talking about making a feature.
Yeah, his whole thing is like, I don't like. He could probably in 2 months or 3 months, he could probably fund that feature.
Oh
Like,
my
it's
god!
crazy.
Yeah,
how much money
And
he makes.
even if he was running out of money, it's like, oh, fresh 100K.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, I gotta buy a Bentley or something.
Yeah,
Like, he just
yeah,
has
yeah.
those days where he's just, it's so great. But wow.
I was gonna ask, like, what after making the show, what would you say, like, what's your dream, like, thing to make now? Is it a comedy or is it more serious? Like, what if you could make anything next? What
Where
would
do
it
you
be?
see yourself in 5 years?
Would it be a podcast? Would it be live performance in hidden valleys?
Yeah, exactly. I'm always like I'm the film guy personally. I love improv. I'm not great at stand up, but I've done it. I love just like the process where you like film, you write something, you have fun writing, or it's a hell of a process to write it. Either one, filming, like editing, everything changes like through the process, and then like your final product's your final product. Like, so I really like just definitely the filmmaking aspect. So would it be TV? Would it be a feature? Honestly, whatever funds me at this point. Like whatever we can make a living off of to do what we love is kind of the goal. I
Right.
think for all of us in this room.
Yeah.
But
Paying the bills.
yeah. So if in a perfect world, best case scenario, we're writing and selling, like we're selling another TV show. And like it's the workaholics thing where it's just like you're creators, you're executive producers, and you're writing every episode. And then I get to throw my name as a director every now and again. So
Well,
yeah.
you've set yourself up pretty well for that situation, hopefully.
It's crazy.
See, it feels like
it's
you have.
crazy. It's like not this isn't crazy. It's just crazy how many people are now picking up filmmaking, and it doesn't scare me. It's just very interesting of like now when you talk to people that are TikTokers and stuff, it's just like they can do all these crazy film tricks, and it's just like everyone now has the goal to be like a content creator.
Yeah.
Which then leads to like also the dream of like selling a TV show and all that stuff, and it's just like it's cool because that just opens up more avenues for outlets and like different. Everybody needs content, like brands, like TVs. Like it'll never run dry, but it's like, wow, we have a competition. Like,
Yeah, you got to really fucking stand out now.
and the older we get, the younger the young guns. Like we're still young, but it's like the young guns are getting better, and it's just like now those guys are your competitors. It's just like, not even competitors, just collaborators. Like just like people that are like that's the one thing from the show where it's like we were working with people that were better than us. So it's like if you could do that and just like learn from it, then it's the best case scenario because then you could take that to your next thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to think that I guess every generation, like, at least for me, it wasn't very common to have a video camera in your house. I mean, at least for my parents.
Yeah.
Like, there was probably, like, your uncle who had a video camera or someone random. But I feel like the average Canadian or American in 2000 didn't have a video camera.
Yeah.
Certainly not a video camera in their pocket.
It's a Sony Handycam.
So,
That's
yeah,
what everyone had.
And then you'd have to upload it to your, I don't know, your
Windows 95.
Dell. Yeah, your Dell. Like, I don't know what people were using back then, but
Yeah.
it would be so tough, and editing would be so tough. But now you are right. Like there are younger kids that are so handy with it, and they can do everything just sitting down on their phone.
Dude, I see this edit
It
on
is
TikTok.
cool. It'll be cool to see where people take it.
Yeah.
That edit on TikTok where like the bodies are frozen in place and they walk and like land in the neck. I'm like, when did Jack Black become better at fucking editing than I am?
Yeah, Jack Black does some.
It's fucking
he
crazy.
kills, but it might not be
I'm
him
like,
editing.
I literally
He could
go
be
like,
paying.
I better get good at podcasting because I am gonna get pushed out of the market and every other fucking like more and more I go, oh my god,
Yeah.
like I gotta get funnier.
No, it's a
Jack Black has an amazing TikTok though.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
He started the YouTube channel. Like he's just gone. His personality just translates to every single freaking app.
Yeah.
He's just a funny guy. And he's got this energy that's so contagious. But yeah, that's your point. It's just like for especially TikTok. It's like we used to work for this guy that I still work with him sometimes. But he's on TikTok and now he's scouting. Like he's scouting people that can do these cool camera tricks, and you can offer that to a brand. You can go to like McDonald's and be like, we could do this with a Big Mac. And it's like, it's just like, yeah, we'll take that. Like 15 seconds. That looks like it would go viral. And then it's this weird hybrid where it's like, there's the,
Well, that was Phil, the guy we had before. He said he made that video for his song,
Yeah.
and he was getting hit up by all these different brands, being like, "Oh yeah, he's actually good at like editing, and he's more creative." So now, like, there's people trying. Like, I mean, I'm working on a marketing degree, but I'm sure there's a lot of people in like marketing and advertising that I mean, yeah, you could lose your job to a TikToker because they can
Honestly,
just
like-
whip up a sweet ad where before you'd probably have 10 people in a room debating over what kind of like video angle you should do.
Yeah.
It's all.
And you can
It's,
just outsource it to a 15-year-old kid.
now that I think about it, it's like we should have seen the fucking what's it called? What's the saying? Like the whatever in the water, but
Yeah.
that
What?
with Vine. Like Vines were 6 seconds. We should have seen it coming where it was like, oh, maybe like the high-end cinematography will be obsolete with iPhones and then it'll be 15-second videos. Like we should have seen that coming. But
No, I would like like the guy I referred to. He's seen it for like 5 or 7 years. He's like, it's a 7-second thing. Like,
And it goes back to being completely addicted to your fucking
exactly.
phone.
He's like,
You
every
know?
time he pitches a brand, they're like, hey, you could pay $100,000 for this marketing firm, or you like $250,000 for this great looking commercial, or you can get something funny and viral on your phone, 15 seconds, and make this influencer do it. And it's just like, all right, well, that one sounds good.
yeah,
But there's still
Let's pay this guy $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that's how it goes. But it's a wild industry we live in. I'm fascinated by it, and I think you need to you need to adjust to the times, like Luke's talking about. But it's a crazy changing world. I don't know if TikTok will be around in 5 years. So.
Have you ever tried to make TikToks?
Dude, we had a whole sketch. We were ahead of the times, man. We had a whole sketch. TikTok ruined my life.
Yeah.
Where we did TikToks 2 years ago, and the whole thing was like, Jackson and John, the trophy husbands. We were like, okay, come to this week with 10 sketch ideas, and if you don't, jokingly, you have to post a TikTok every single day. And like this is when it was it was finding its audience of like 14-year-olds. But it had Musical.ly before then, so it was still a big thing, but not many people, like it wasn't quarantine TikTok big.
it wasn't mainstream.
Yeah, like there was a point in quarantine where TikTok took off. Anyway, so we were doing it, and then we had all these TikToks where like, let's write a sketch. We made like 50 TikToks where we were like doing the stupid dances and everything. And we wrote a whole sketch, posted it. No one got the TikTok references of like, and now I talk to my friends and they're like, wow, that was ahead of its time.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah. You know what? I do what you guys do where you post like podcast clips and stuff, like just trying to find an audience. Like the worst thing that can happen is you post these clips and just people see it and then they're fans of you. So we post like different sketches in clips, but I'm never like, what's up guys? Like
Yeah.
I'm never that guy.
It's funny, my Dr. Tarnaki one where I'm ripping the bong full of Moderna vaccine, they like banned that video from TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. Like the two first parts, and then I'm just ripping this bong with like quote unquote Moderna vax as like the hitter, and they banned that.
That's
I was just like, that's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. But it is funny how right now it feels like there's about 25 to I would say 35-year-olds are more into like podcasting and longer format stuff, whereas the younger 24 to like 14 is more into TikToks and fast hitting stuff. So it's going to be really weird to see what happens in the next like 5 years.
Yeah.
Especially when the even younger generation comes
up,
up. You're going to be
yeah.
like, your brain's going to fucking fry.
There's going to be a point where it's like, at some point we're not going to know the next thing, and that's where it's because it's like, even when we talk about this TikTok stuff, like some people are what is this stuff? And we're gonna get to that point where there's an app called Wavely. What's this Wavely thing?
Dude, if it almost feels like right now, like I was having this self-thought, I'm like, I feel like I'm spreading too thin. Like I'm on fucking TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, I'm like, what am I doing? Like I am spread thin here. Like I'm spending so much time editing clips for certain sizes and shit. I'm like, this is insane.
But it's what you have to do, right? To diversify. Like one of the TikTokers, it's like a young kid. He's got like 20 million followers, and he's just like, he even said he does the podcast with Dave Portnoy, Josh Richards, and he was like, I think after this, only like 15 to 25 TikTokers are going to come out, like being able to transfer their fan base into something else. And it's like, there's 100 million freaking people. I don't think he's completely right, but there's like 100 million people on that app, or maybe 1 billion now. But anyway,
It's crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, because then when the next thing comes, there's going to be the child stars of that generation,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
It's all gonna constantly be breeding new
even if you think of like music in the sense of like music in the 50s, music in the 60s, like it's like every 10 years there's this switch.
Yeah.
Where everything changes, like artists change, styles change. Somebody posted a video of like high school in 2001, and it was all these people with these cams, and it was insane to see what people looked like. Like, holy hell, like it was mind blowing.
I think the next thing is VR. Like the big thing will be you're in a room, you're VRing everyone. Like it's gonna be.
It's kind of starting with Zoom.
Yeah,
Is that not kind
now
of how it is?
Yeah,
right?
now it'll be like a VR version of Zoom.
It'll just the screen.
It's already
will get
happening.
closer to
Like
their head.
Adamo is doing like a VR YouTube channel, and it's like you can like literally sit in a room where Shaq's talking to everyone.
Really?
It's crazy, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I've had VR before. It's the best. It's like it's the best until it's like it gets old. It's like have you guys ever done VR porn?
No.
Yeah, it's life changing, scary.
Really?
Yeah. I could only do it a couple times because I was like, this is too futuristic, and it's like it's weird. Like you're in the room, you can look to the like the side of the bedroom, and then like someone comes through the door, and it's like a girl, and you go, oh no, I don't
way.
like this. Yeah, and then like it made me nervous. Like my heart started racing. And I was dating someone at the time. I thought I was like cheating.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
Imagine when they start pumping smells into that.
Well, no, there's a sensation difference because everything's happening, and then you're using your hand, and it's just like you can feel, like you can tell, and obviously that's the disconnect. So when you see those sci-fi like futuristic things, it's like when someone's like hooked up to a machine and they got that VR thing, just like it's the funny. Like I could see that. I know that exists now, but I could see that becoming like a future. That's something in our cards.
Yeah. Speaking of being ahead of the times, I was doing the VR Second City bit. I wrote a whole sketch about this guy, like his life around him is falling apart. Like he can't keep the house warm. His fucking family's leaving him. But like in his VR world, his family is amazing. They're basically royalty. Like everyone loves them. And it's just like we're literally heading in that direction where everyone's gonna live in little fucking condos that are like 40 square feet, and then they're gonna go into this VR like hub and just basically zonk out, and then go to this escape where they're like on roller coasters in their VR thing, just shaking.
You're hooked up to like all these cords. It's like it's just a Congo line. It's just a Congo line for eternity. You're like, you're not wrong. I mean, but VR hasn't taken off. It's definitely part of the future, but it's really hard to like slow.
It's crazy to think it's going to be so good that you can like legally murder someone because it's just VR.
Yeah. That's gonna be crazy.
What a sweet relief.
I didn't even think about that.
Legally, what do you mean?
Well, right now, if you murder someone, it's game, set, match. They're dead. But VR, you fucking just like slit their throat, and it doesn't matter. They're just bleeding out data.
Like, picture like the GTA games and stuff.
Right,
like you're gonna be able to like just like.
And you can actually feel the snap.
Because you would have like those gloves on that like keep the pressure and stuff. Oh my god.
You're choking someone out, and they're looking up. And you just feel like the life leaving their body, and then
you have to like take a shower after, like in the real world. You're just like
hand on the one part of the shower.
That's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
I just picture you're like literally killing someone in VR world, but like in your little like cubicle, you're just like this.
Like everyone else knows, they're like, "Oh, Luke's fucking murdering."
Yeah. Or it's like less of like shaking around. It's like you have to make the movements. So it's literally like it's like just like you have to make the movements. So someone walks into your room and you're just like
like, Timothy, what are you doing?
Mom, get out! I'm the Vietnam War, just absolutely ransacking this village.
Just because I kill someone in VR doesn't mean I kill someone in real life.
Yeah, because then the ethics will come into play, just like it did with Grand Theft Auto when it first came out. They're like, you're killing cops. That's going to mean that you're going to kill cops in real life.
It's like the argument.
Like,
the argument stays the same, where it's like, you're just pressing a button in these games, and then it's just like, you're just holding someone's throat for 45 to 130 and watching them slowly lose their life.
We all know it takes at least 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, the game is just a game. It's like...
Dude, imagine like you could literally... that's such a cool idea. You can like just go... I could go fucking murder you. Just, hey, Mike, how's it going? Then you called me up. She's like, dude, why'd you fucking kill me? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
people could know if you've murdered them in like the VR world.
Dude.
Like you turn on your phone and you're like 20 people just murdered me. You're like, shit, what the hell did I do last
Bad
night?
impressions. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Was it? We're ready.
that could be a Black Mirror.
Well, I was about to say, like, literally, that is a version of a Black Mirror episode where this guy's a super, like, introvert. The Star Trek one, you know, the one where...
Right.
So
yeah,
he, like,
yeah.
creates digital copies of Luke and you, and then holds them prisoner and, like, completely takes, like, just this absolute power trip in his world he created. And it's fucking...
That was a good episode. I haven't seen
was
that
one of the
episode in
better
like
ones, man.
a long time.
They have 2 VR ones, right? The other one was where the 2 best friends start banging each other.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was a great one. Because
Yeah.
it's, like, one of those ideas where it's just like, we would all do it. There's no way I wouldn't, like...
You'd
if-
fuck your friend?
I probably, like...
Why?
Okay, maybe not maybe not my friend, but like if I
Jackson's in VR. You gonna bang him?
If he was a hot chick, probably.
there was like a second storyline, right, where they like met up and then did they kiss? I'm not gonna. I don't care.
Let's get into detail here. So
But, like-
Jackson's wearing a skirt.
No, I'm not saying. no. Okay, the idea is
It got weird.
you're fighting a character and you forget that it's your friend, and then you feel everything. It's basically like you're just like it's almost like you're cheating, but in a world where you're not cheating, and it's just like it's a wild idea to explore. Good for Black.
Because they weren't actually. They didn't even have to be in the same room.
They had these sensor caps that like basically make you feel everything you would, and so like as they were hooking up, it's just like you feel everything, like that's happening, and you didn't do anything wrong. So it's this weird thing where it's just like, if Jackson was talking, it wouldn't be Jackson's voice. It would be the like whatever character, like a hot character in the game. So, am I saying I would do it? I would have to. There would have to be some ground rules, but I would consider it.
All right, Mike. I'll be the girl today. You be the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's meet up
Exactly.
at the
Honestly.
playground. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole different. Yeah.
It is
Like,
crazy.
man, you've been the guy every single time. I'm getting bored of it.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's cool. Black Mirror. That's a good show. Sometimes hit or miss. You know.
I say more often than not, it's a hit.
Yeah. Their last season was pretty meh. The Star Trek one was the best one, but the other ones were questionable.
So you,
The only one I didn't like, which I think a lot of people liked, was the one where it's like the robot dog.
Oh, I hated that one.
Hey, yeah, I wasn't a big fan
I didn't
of
like
that
Miley Cyrus's episode either.
one. Really, I actually liked that one because that I thought got like really dark.
It did, yeah.
It was just
I
like
was
drugging her.
I was gonna ask, why did you get into filmmaking and comedy?
Wow. Hard curveball. We were talking about having sex with our friends and that. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe it revolves around fucking your friends. I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I remember in grade 10. This is such a weird origin story, but it's like I remember in grade 10. Like my brother was always the like bro-y hockey guy at the school we went to, St. Andrews, and so I was always trying to be that guy. And then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go into business. That's what my dad was in. I'm gonna be a business guy. And then in this Comtech class, we had to edit this Kung Fu Panda trailer. And so I edited this, and I was like, in Movie Maker, some shit, I was like, I love this. Like, I was like, I love editing this. So I did one of my good friends, his project. I edited a different version of the trailer, and I was like, man, this is cool. And then, anyways, we started SAC TV, which was like,
started.
yeah, it was like basically like doing stupid sketches and then we'd show them in front of the school. And it was just like, I just loved getting silly and then having to like make it into something. Like Luke and I used to just go out and be like, let's just be ghost police and then fool around for 2 hours. And I just kept like getting obsessed with like, we both did, of like how to make it look better. Like how do you make it look like the movies, man?
Yeah.
And so I just like, it's kind of stemmed from there where it's just like, this, and then like as soon as my brother left, it was like I could finally be the guy I wanted to be at the school. Like he wasn't this weird fucking jock or anything, but he was just the cool older brother that I was in his shadow. And then I was like, all right, now I'm just gonna be a fucking dummy, like making stupid stuff. So I think that's how it happened. It's all blurry. I did a lot of drugs back then.
You also like coerced me in.
Mescaline.
I feel like you bringing me in was like a fucking, the hell's going on? It was like almost like taking an extra dose of like, holy fuck, there's someone who also craves it as much as I do. It's like, not to say that you weren't going to do it like already, but we really fucking like got addicted to going. We started doing Second City. Like we just started doing all like these stand-up comedy competitions. We'd almost like do it together. It was easier because we were doing it together at the time. I almost feel like obviously not everything was together, but it was like, hey, look at this, or like, let's write this crazy sketch.
You have someone to hold you accountable. And
Yeah.
it's just like that's what that was.
As much as like we were doing SAC TV with a group of other people, we were basically just being like, yeah, like stand here while we shoot you.
Yeah, exactly.
We would write it and then make them do crazy shit.
Yeah, that was great.
But
We have one sketch, Sean, where it's like we started an underground high school fight club, and what we did is we actually got actual like people to show up in washrooms, and we would all just like completely mosh pit and tackle each other. And we did, and the whole joke was we like wanted to do this Royal Rumble, and we'd get as many people. We got like 45 kids to show up in this like basement, and we got teachers like to endorse it, be like, the Royal Rumble, you got to be there, like all this stuff.
Oh my God.
And like literally like just, and it was illegal.
Is that on YouTube or?
No, it's in the deep archives, but we have it somewhere.
we had like multiple lead ups to the Royal Rumble. We had like one washroom fight with like 30 people where people were like literally getting fucked up, like hip checked, flying into walls.
Somebody brought an electric cord and was like hitting people. Like, it was the funniest thing ever.
And then the Royal Rumble, yeah, it was like between 45 and like 70 kids, and they just literally ran at each other, and like it was like Game of Thrones level fight scene, but with high school kids.
There's one moment in there where it basically goes like, it goes like scans around, like some kids are wearing GoPros, and it's like, you know, the scene in Battle of the Bastards where Jon Snow's like, there's me like it like crammed like under a bunch of people, and I'm like, it was so real. I couldn't breathe, and my back was like breaking. I was like,
And it was just on a GoPro.
and then somebody on camera double kicks me in the face. Like just like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like I can watch that again and just like, oh my God, like a teacher literally endorsed it, and then we pan to the gallery and people charge. Like we got away with so much of that. Like,
man.
Well, there was
so funny.
even one of the videos we had like this kind of, I don't know if it was a Terry Fox run, but something like similar to that, where it was like completely for charity. You had to do it, and Mike and I were like, "Fuck this! We're like gonna avoid teachers and run through the forest and like film the reactions of like yelling at us."
Yeah.
And I think I came like 546th place, and Mike came like 561.
we never finished. Like we
No.
never actually finished. And the one teacher's like, "I'm gonna make you do it again." But anyways, that fight
The
club
Terry
one.
Fox run. Dude, those are brutal. Those are long
yeah.
runs.
Forgot
And it was
about those.
always, God, it was always cold.
The beginning where everyone sprints, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I can't keep pace with this.
So, who are your top?
Oh, we got
I was gonna say, who are your top like 5 biggest influences as far as you can like combine filmmaking and comedy? I would guess.
It's a tough one, you know. It's a tough one. Because I'm trying to think, because like I've been thinking about that a lot, where it's like when people ask me that question, I used to always just like go to the classics and be like, oh, Monty Python. It's like, because you have to say that stuff, right? Where it's like, oh, of course, like Steve Martin and
Yeah.
like I do like those. I do like all those comedians. I've watched a lot of them, but like the people that influenced me the most was like Good Neighbor, like because we came onto YouTube at a very like influential time in our careers where it's like what we wanted to do.
Right.
Anyway, so like Good Neighbor comedy, I was like, this is a type of comedy that's like, and then they got on SNL. They're just like huge influences. Key and Peele was sketch comedians where I was like, oh, you can make things look cinematic and you can also be hilarious like as a duo. So I thought they were amazing. Ben Stiller's one where I just like
Ben Stiller's gotta be.
Yeah,
He's crazy good.
He's kind of underrated.
So underrated.
So underrated.
He's great, and he's just like
What's the one where he marries that girl really randomly? She's like
Heartbreak
skinny,
Kid or something.
Oh, dude, I
the
watched that
skinny-
recently.
She's like skinny, blonde.
Yeah,
and
it's the
then-
Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm wearing my mom's wedding dress.
Yeah,
And then she
the
sees
mom
them
pulls
all,
up. She's like 4 hundo, and she's like, oh, like.
I used to think. Can you just imagine your face if you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
But like everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't she get really
like,
badly burnt?
oh yeah, he's the king actually. Like the piling on of like everything continuously going wrong. Like when he was in
Dude, the
Meet the
Neighborhood
Parent, Meet the Parents,
that's a
fucking
classic.
Tropic Thunder,
Yeah.
like so many Dodgeball.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
like,
the Neighborhood Watch is also great.
I
too.
gotta watch that again.
that one
Oh,
was
it's
so
classic.
weird, but it's good. It's like it's just great. And then like Adam McKay and Will Ferrell, like them as a directing, like Adam McKay's the director that's like incredible with Will Ferrell, who's just like the funniest guy in the world. And you put those two together, you get like Talladega Nights, Anchorman, like all these guys, all these like movies that like shaped our childhood at least, of just like how often, if you think about how often you would quote Step Brothers or Anchorman in your childhood, at least for us.
It was
Daily.
probably the most quoted.
And the Dodgeball and stuff, like Ben Stiller's just full of hits. Anyway, I can't remember if that's 5, but
No, I think it was 6.
and then John Mulaney, you know, just a lot of guys, a lot of good people.
That's a good list though.
Kristen Wiig, another one, she's great.
So mostly sketchy people who started in the sketch.
People that work in the world of film and like SNL and sketch
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but yeah, stand up, I have a whole other list. But anyways,
Top 3 stand-ups.
like I actually don't. I have to think about that one.
It's funny because
That's
I
strange.
want so bad Tim Dillon to be on the list, but for me it's like he's not. I don't watch him for his stand-up.
Yeah.
I watch him for the.
for his. And you don't really laugh at the podcast. I'm more just fascinated.
Really?
Oh, I
Listening
laugh
to
at
him.
the
Dude, his
podcast.
podcast is like insanely
Yeah.
funny.
No, but
I'm
like
not saying it's not funny, but like it's not like watching a comedy show where you're
I know what you mean.
constantly laughing and laughing.
But if you went there, if you went to one of his podcasts live, I guarantee you'd be
Yeah,
in stitches.
exactly, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but I laugh at his podcast a lot. But I can't remember. I don't know top 3. What's your top 3? George Carlin, Dave Chappelle,
No, George Carlin, Bill Burr,
Bill Burr's.
and then
amazing.
I would say I wish I could just see a special from Tim, but
Yeah,
Tim's got to be on the list now.
he's still allowed to be your favorite.
Yeah,
comedian.
I would say right now he's my favorite,
Yeah, he's incredible.
and it's not even close. Who's like just. I couldn't even say a close second to what Tim's putting out right
Yeah,
now.
it's true.
He's like at a level where it's like I don't think it's ever been done like this, where he's putting out a special every week, but like just sitting there ranting.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I don't know how he can do it. Like, good for him. He just literally talk to himself and have one guy in the corner, Ben, that just eggs him on. It's so good. It's just so good.
It's beautiful stuff. I mean, and he's even doing it on the Patreon too, and it's beautiful stuff.
beautiful stuff.
So this is kind of crazy. We're doing 2 podcasts tonight,
Yeah,
which
we
is
have
going
to
to be
call it.
insane.
We have to call
But
it.
won't you leave us off with the inspirational quote?
Yeah, your reoccurring thing where you go inspirational quote.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, I always like to say, live like your dad's dead. I'll leave it like
Wow. Where do the people find you?
that. You can find me.
Are you on Pornhub?
Yeah, yeah.
You actually are.
No, we got taken off Pornhub
Oh my
with their
God.
updated terms and policy. Yeah, unfortunately. So you
Where,
can,
where can we watch the show? That's a good question.
yeah. So for heaven's sake, if you're in Canada, because I know the Sean and Luke fans are heavily in Canada, you can watch it on CBC Gem for free, and then Paramount Plus in the States. Potentially the Nordics. Who knows? Who knows what they're doing over there? And then Trophy Husbands Comedy and Mike Mildon on Instagram and all that jazz. But thanks for having me, guys. You know,
Yeah, you're
good
gonna
friends,
for
good
having me.
people, and
put a bag over your head when you leave. The fans are.
yeah.
We gotta get
Rabid.
that guy with the knife back. And,
Hungry.
make sure he doesn't talk any more shit.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the channel.